All right, everybody, good morning. Hey, happy Sunday, and welcome to the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast. I am your host, Charles Watson, and thank you for tuning in today, guys. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Today's topic is what social media tactics have been the most effective in the first half of 2019. You know, Social Media Examiner released their 2019 halfway social media industry report. We're halfway through the year financially, and so they've just kind of released a halfway report and just kind of categorizing and explaining and talking about the trends that they've noticed throughout the year so far. So all of our topic today is coming from that report. I have a link in the blog for that report. If you want to check it out, I recommend you do. If you're an influencer, it's packed full of great information. So, according to their industry report, 85% of the marketers surveyed said that they wanted to know which social media tactics were the most effective in driving engagement to their brands or businesses. In fact, this question, guys, was so popular that this is now the number 2 most frequently asked question by online marketers. Reaching your audience and building a community across all social platforms, it really doesn't have to be hard. Consumers today, this is something to keep in mind, are very savvy and cautious. And most of them, just like us, we're just looking to do business with a company or a brand that we feel safe with and that we trust. That's really all there is to it, In an age of scams and identity theft and sensory overload, it's your job as a business leader, as a social media marketer, to deliver real value and trust to your customers. Having a strong social media strategy will allow you to engage more, build rapport, and develop trust. But the truth is, guys, there is no magical tactic or silver bullet to building an effective social media content strategy. But if you follow the 5 tips I'm going to lay out for you, you'll be on your way to building a more successful and a more sustainable online community. And in the end, that's what it's all about. Good morning, Kevin. So tip number 1 I have for you is develop content that is aligned with your marketing objectives. As you develop your online presence, your goals, they're definitely going to shape the type of content that you're creating. You want to get clear about your objectives and you want to get clear about your goals. Take out a pen and a paper, write them down and map them out. Some questions you can ask yourself is, do you want to drive traffic? Do you want to gain more likes? Do you want to gain more audience interaction? Do you want to gain more revenue? By making a list of what you want to achieve, you can then create content around that objective, and that is very useful and very specific. You want to make sure that you're keeping your content in line with your niche or the market that you're serving. If you veer off course, a lot of times this can cause confusion in your audience, and it can leave your audience scratching their heads as they try to figure out exactly what it is you do. So you want to be clear, you want to be concise, write out those objectives and goals, pick like 3 or 4, and then start creating content with those goals in mind. Tip number 2 is observe and learn from big brands. We are not reinventing the wheel here, people. We're not. We're trying to put our personal spin on content and on a genre. Anthony, good morning. And in a market that there are already people that have been successful. Chances are that no matter what your niche or market is, there's someone out there who has come before you and has managed to acquire a huge amount of success. You want to check on your competition and see what's working for them. Tap into the most happening channels, listen closely and get involved in their comments and listen to their customers. This is an incredible resource and an incredible way to create content that answers their questions and provides value to them. As you provide value to other people's audiences and answer their questions and concerns, they start to pay attention to you, and that piques their interest, and they start following you. Gary Vaynerchuk, he preaches that this is the exact way that he was able to grow his influence and his audience over Twitter. If you look him up on any of his platforms, that story is there, and he will tell you getting engaged and getting involved in your hands dirty in the comments is a great way to learn and grab attention from big brands. The third tip I have for you guys is post frequently. You know, consistency is the key to success, and it's a huge factor in determining the success of the social media strategies that you're going to put into place. And you don't have to post every day, but you really should schedule your content and stick with it. Like, plan out your content, know what you're going to post, know what times you're going to post them, and then stick to it. You need to think of your business or your brand as a TV show on a major television network. If you continually post like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, over time, what's going to happen is that your audience is going to come to continually expect that schedule from you. And if you slack off, or if you forget not to post, or if you get lazy, you're really going to shake the trust of your audience, and you're going to come across as not being as dependable as they thought you were. Remember, the goal to everything is build community, build loyalty, and build trust. So your customers want to do business with brands and businesses that are dependable. One of the quickest ways you can show you're dependable is by planning a content strategy, a posting strategy, and sticking to it. The fourth tip I have for you guys is get analytical. You want to get into the habit of checking the performance of your content at least once a week. You should put some time aside early in the morning when you're drinking a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Everything is still quiet, super early in the morning. Get into the analytics. You don't have to drown yourself in data, but you got to dig into the numbers so that you can identify what's working for you and what isn't working for you. Martin, good morning. Once you have clarity and once you see what is working, then you want to create content that reflects your most successful posts. The great thing about social media is that it allows you to keep a pulse in real time on how your content strategy is performing. And this is just simple. You want to create more of what works, and you want to create less of what doesn't. So get into those analytics at least once a week. The fifth and final tip I have for you guys is interact with your audience in real time, like we're doing here today with Kevin, Anthony, Martin, and the others that are joining us. Even if you use auto posting software, so even if you schedule an auto poster to manage your posts, you really need to engage in real time and in real conversations with your audience. You know, it's called social media for a reason. People like to be social on these platforms. And you really need to respond to every message, response, and question that people post on your pages and on your accounts. You want to respond to everything, even the negative ones. I know it's tough. It's tough dealing with negative comments, and it's tough dealing with ridicule. But if you really take a step back and you try to engage that person, I think that there are lessons to learn as to why someone is reacting negatively to your brand or your business. A negative reaction, a person that is against your brand, is really a potential prospect, and you can win them over. And in doing so, I think your community in general will see that you're not lashing out at this person in anger, or you're not belittling this person, but you're actually trying to take the time to understand where this person is coming from and what blockades they have in their life, and how you can help them understand your content and be more successful. So you definitely want to interact in real time. Remember, nobody likes to be ignored. I don't like to be ignored. You guys don't like to be ignored. Everyone wants to feel like they're being heard, and everyone wants to feel like their message and their statements are getting out there. So prepare to work your channels often and actively. Really be proactive. You know, social media, guys, is now an essential part of doing business. It is no longer an option. Businesses are thriving on social media platforms. And if you see any kind of stagnation in your brand growth or any kind of drop in your SEO work or engagement in your social posts, these are great tips to get you engaging again and get your audience involved again. Social media, it's where we connect with our customers and build relationships with any kind of constituent. You know, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned professional, social media is important. And following these 5 simple tips will allow you to design a content strategy and tactics that are effective in building your business. Well, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Let me know what you think about the video in the comments. If you like this video, please smash the like button and share this with someone you think could benefit from the information inside. If you like this, remember, we've got tons more on our website, expertinfluenceracademy.com. It's got a new look. Good morning, Garrett. So make sure you check that out. Once again, I hope you guys have a great weekend, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video.